Today I want to talk about two movements that should be ubiquitous to every serious strength athlete's training program. That is the weighted dip and the weighted pull-up. And if you're not performing these two movements, you are missing out on what the bros commonly refer to as sick gains. Let's start with the pull-up. Now, if you cannot perform a pull-up, you can easily mimic the movement by using equipment that should be common to most commercial establishments, such as a lat pull-down, which is an inferior piece of equipment because it's usually quietly tucked away in a corner where you can train in relative peace and quiet and focus, while the pull-up can be performed anywhere where you can find a grip where you can place your hands directly in the line of sight of other people who are trying to train, because how else are they going to see your sick lats, bro? If you can't get their attention on the pull-up rack, you can simply go to anywhere where you can place your hands and just put yourself directly in their line of sight. Superior. Now that we have the basics out of the way, let's talk about how I'm actually performing these movements. Now, I like to use any kind of grip that I can get my hands around, and I like to vary the grip. So sometimes I'll have pronated, supinated, or in this one, I have them side by side, which I guess would be called a neutral grip. And I don't use my thumbs. I only use my fingers. A while ago, I discovered that if I took the thumbs out of every pulling movement, it was kind of a shortcut, or a hack, if you will, to get my grip strength up. This grip strength directly applies to my ability to hold a deadlift bar, which was what the end goal was. And I found that if I just simply took the thumbs out of the pulling movements, my deadlift grip ability went up exponentially. I would consider this grip strength to be really specific, because if you were, say, trying to hold a hammer without using your thumbs, you would find that you would just fling it across the room and probably kill one of your coworkers. So, it depends on what you're trying to hold on to. To add weight to my body, I use a specific pull-up belt, which has little nifty carabiner hooks and chains on it. You can put attachments on there and you can hang a variety of things from it. This also spreads the weight out across your back so it's not uncomfortable, but you can add weight to your body any way you want to. I've seen guys wrap chains around their neck. I've seen them literally tie a rope around their waist and just loop it through a bunch of plates. Hey, however you get the weight on you is how you get it on you. It doesn't matter. Now we're moving into dips. Now, a lot of the same rules that apply to pull-ups are going to apply to dips. The number one most important piece of equipment is going to be lighting, so they can see the contrast of the muscles that you're trying to work out. To attach the weights to my waist, I've opted to use this adjustable kettlebell. What's great about that is you have a handle that's easily attachable, and you can just pop it off, put on the exact amount of weight you want to use, pop it back on, and you have something that fits nicely between your legs and has it's an easy attachment point. It's just much easier to work with than trying to loop chains around weights. It doesn't bang off your shins, and it won't change your religion by pinching your tendons into oblivion. While we can all agree that most powerlifters and bodybuilders are not too concerned about their fertility, you don't want to damage the equipment so it can't be used later. That's just a change you don't want to make while you're working out in the gym. Let's talk about equipment. Most commercial facilities have a dip station or machine, a place with comfortable grips where you can move your entire range of motion through space unimpeded. One of the things I like to do to procure equipment is scope out family members during family functions, such as Christmas dinners, to find out who is crippled or who is on disability, because they're most likely to have a walker. And if you can steal this life-saving equipment from them, you can use it as a dip station that's portable, and it folds up and tucks nice and neat when you're done with it. They'll never even know it's missing. I mean, it's not like it helps them walk or anything. When performing dips, angles matter. Now, if you perform the dips straight up and down in a line where you're leaning back, you'll find that most of the weight is directly on your triceps, and it becomes more of an arm workout, while if you lean forward, it becomes more of a chest workout. Well, these I like to get as deep as I can and really nice and slowly stretch at the bottom. I do these really slow and controlled because of my shoulder issues. I'm afraid I'm going to blow my shoulders out, so I try not to do these fast and uncontrolled like you see most people doing them. Practically every commercial gym I go to, when I see people on the dip station, it looks more like somebody's having a seizure than performing a movement. And while it's true any kind of form of resistance training is better than no resistance training, there are levels of efficiency that you want to consider. It just occurred to me. The pull-up is the first half of a muscle-up. The dip is the second half of a muscle-up. So why can't I do a muscle-up? What's the middle part? Where's the disconnect? They call these functional strength movements because in a real world situation, like an emergency, you might need to be able to pull yourself up to the edge of an object that you're hanging off of so you can just look over the top of it and, not be able to actually climb out of the hole. And there you have it, weighted dips and pull-ups. When done together, it is a full upper body workout, and you can just do them both and get on with your day. Thoughts, questions, leave them in the comments. Love you guys.